Hi there, it's Sandy, your sister and your friend. Welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about the series of films. There was the original, The Matrix, and then I think there were three sequels to that. And I had heard someone, even though I had seen the original movie years ago when it played in the theaters, I heard someone say that it's more of a documentary about waking up to our reality than it is a sci-fi movie. So just recently I went to our library and I checked out all four movies, and I sat there and I watched them thinking about whether I could actually see the application of this movie and the script, the application of it paralleling the things that I'm going through as I'm waking up to my consciousness. And so I wanted to today, this is really just me kind of pulling things out of these movies and showing you how I have seen that what the parallels are to my experience. So so I'm going, spoiler alert here, I am going to share some actual lines from, particularly from the first movie, The Matrix, and I think a couple lines maybe from some of the follow-up movies. But in case you haven't watched them and you want to, then you might not want to watch this video today until you've watched the movies. And in the movie The Matrix, especially the first one, it really delved into a lot of complex concepts. It talks about, or has us think about reality versus perception. That's a very big one. That's one that I'm kind of going to dwell on here today. The power of human connection, which is again something that I'm going to, that really speaks to me as well. And our struggle for purpose and identity. And that's something I think we all at some point in our life have to look at. And why are we here? And who are we truly? Now, in the movie The Matrix, all the humans are asleep in pods, individual pods, and they've got mechanical things that they're plugged in, because they are actually the energy source that provides the energy to the machines that run the world. So they are asleep in these individual pods. They are dreaming that they're having individual experiences where they have jobs and families and personal interests that really look a lot like the life that we're leading here in the world that we're living in. So in their minds, in their dream world, they're actually see themselves as having these humanly perceived experiences, and but that's not really where they are. They're actually in individual pods, and they've been programmed to think that something else is going on. Now, in the movie, there are a few people who have escaped from the Matrix, and two of the main characters are Morpheus, and who is looking for the one that he believes is who's going to be different and able to actually save them from the machine world. And there's Trinity, who is the heroine in the movie and the love interest of Neo. And Morpheus and Trinity and a few others have escaped from the Matrix, and they're living in the real world. And so, but they go back and forth to the Matrix. And one of the reasons they're going back into the Matrix is they're looking for the hero, and this is Neo, and Neo is the one. And that phrase is used quite a bit, like, are you the one? Am I the one? As they find Neo, and they tell him that the Oracle, who is a character, presumably speaking with the voice of God, has told Morpheus that there is someone there in the Matrix who is the one who's going to save them from the machine world. So in an early conversation between Morpheus and Neo, after Neo has been rescued from the Matrix and is trying to understand what's going on, this is what Morpheus tells him. He says, "You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You've felt it your entire life. There's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us. It's the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth." And in response, Neo asks, "Well, what is truth?" And Morpheus says this, that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. You were born into a prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. Now, this really resonated with me about my initial experiences in 2020 when I first started to wake up. I felt like I'd always known that there was something a little bit off in this perceptual world that I lived in. I didn't know what it was, and I certainly didn't know then that I had been programmed by my culture, by my family, by all my experiences in this world to believe that things operated in a certain way. I did feel, though, that I lacked the freedom to think for myself, and that is actually something I had this great inner desire to be able to do. And when I started to wake up, God started to bring me teachers who would help me examine my experiences and be able to understand that there was an alternative to the world that I had been living in all my life. Now, in this point in the movie, when Neo is understanding that he's been rescued out of the Matrix, Morpheus offers Neo a choice between taking a red pill or a blue pill. And he tells Neo this is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill and you wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering you is the truth, nothing more. And it's really funny about using this truth and the freedom to find the truth. That's all I ever have wanted since I started saying maybe what I've been told isn't the truth. And I just wanted to have a perception, what is truth? So, again, this movie was really like aligning with my actual experience. So in the movie, Neo takes the red pill, which is the one that he's going to wake up with, and Morpheus says, "Have you ever had a dream that you thought was so real? What if you were able to awake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? Well, welcome to the real world." And that's really the crux of the matter. How do we know that the world that we're living in, this world of physical perceptions and a physical body, how do we know that this isn't a dream world? How do we know that this is reality? As I experienced things and I saw them with my physical senses, I believe that things were the way I had been told that they were. And my perception created my reality. I couldn't possibly know that my experiences were all occurring in a dream because my mind had made everything real for me. Now, the matrix that we're living in can't tell any of us who we really are because it's just an illusion. It's just something that our egos made up. Actually, our memories in the matrix, this matrix that we're in, they're not real either. There's nothing that happens here that we should give any credence to. Whatever happened or happens to us in the matrix never really happened at all. And that's a really big pill to swallow because that's totally different than anything that we've been told. Now, in one scene in the movie, Neo watches a small child bend a spoon with his mind. Then he invites Neo to do the same thing. But he tells Neo, don't try to bend the spoon, that's impossible. Only try to realize the truth. And Neo asks, well, what is the truth? The child answers, there is no spoon. Then you will see it is not the spoon that bends, but it is only yourself. And that's really, again, what's been happening to me. It's a mind-bending exercise that I'm going through. It's a matter of dropping things that I can see. Why would I have even believed that? Why? That doesn't even make any sense. I have any idea why I held on to that. And I held on to it because I was told to. I was taught to believe certain things. But the more, excuse me, I get still and look inside of me, the more I realize that all the answers, everything I've ever been looking for, is within me. So after Neo is trained by Morpheus and Trinity to move between the real world and the Matrix, he's able to do impossible feats in the Matrix. Now he knows that his purpose is to return to the Matrix because most of the people that he needs to save as the one are still there in bondage in these separate pods in the Matrix, and he needs to go there to be able to help free them. And that's where any of us find ourselves, any of us who are waking up, this is where we find ourselves. We're still in the Matrix, but we're learning what our purpose is. And what is our purpose? What I'm finding is that it's to shine light on the door that we walk through to leave the Matrix and to walk into the real world. So we know that we walk through that door, and our purpose is to shine the light so that our brothers and sisters can see that there is a door for them to walk through. Now, we can't make anybody walk through the door, and that's not our job and not our role to do that, because everybody has to do that in their own timing. I do think everybody will eventually walk through the door to freedom, because I think it's God's will for all of his children to return home to heaven to him. So the last thing I wanted to share in the Matrix series was actually from the last movie in the series. And in it, Neo and Trinity are running from the Agent Smith and the other agents who are all duplicates of Agent Smith. And they end up at a tall building. And in other movies, Neo has been the one who takes her hand, and they're able to jump off of the building, and he develops the ability to fly. And so he does the impossible things in the Matrix. But in this movie, in this instant, instead of Neo being the one who is able to fly, Trinity is the one who flies and saves Neo. And so actually Neo needed Trinity to be able to save him. And this seems so true to me. There's the only way out of the Matrix involves us saving each other. The only way that we can return to the place that we left, that we have never left, which is heaven, is to get there together by forgiving each other for the things that never really happened in this illusory world, in this Matrix world where we seem to be living. So I want to end with what Neo told Agent Smith about his plans for saving people who were still stuck in the Matrix. This is what he said: I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without rules or controls, borders or boundaries, a world where anything is possible. So can we believe that our physical senses have betrayed us into believing that our simulated universe is real? Are we ready to awaken together and see that the world that God created for us is real, and that's the world where anything is possible? God bless you so much. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope that you're waking up to see yourself. You are beautiful. You are lovely. you're perfect and pure and holy just like God, because you are in heaven. That's where your real self is. We'll talk about that more next time. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this kind of movie review and using it as an allegory for our life here. I love you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. Let me know what parts of the Matrix movie really resonate with you. So I love you. Go and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.